and that. You're like, oh, we're back.
At the paladin.
Did you two find anything out interesting?
None of the scouts that I questioned knew about unicorns or anything. There was nothing strange they have cited.
All right then. And you, Paladin, were you able to find anything of value for yourself?
No, there's nothing useful in there for me. It's too expensive.
All right. Well, I'm glad we've at least found our way back to one another. Thurai and I have learned a few things. One is that Arabella in here might be someone we could trade some documents that we've got that we think might be valuable, and another is that the gentleman, the larger gentleman that Thurai sat with in the tavern, he might be able to help us find some work. Find some adventures that might be profitable. So I think the first thing to do is get in here. Why don't you three let me do the talking? I've got got a bit of the way with the ladies.
Didn't you find some?
Kind of like I can't keep getting like cocky about this before I.
Dom, say it. Quick, Dom, say it. I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Didn't you find some like ancient books or something? Wouldn't they be of use to some like a mage or something?
By the way, this is the bookstore you're standing outside of, not Spells and Smells and Spells.
Well, that would okay.
Yeah, because this is where
Would
you
the
two are
bookstore
heading
have to be
opposite.
with ancient books?
Who took the
The
books?
books I tucked away.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
books you tucked away. Wouldn't they be of any value here?
I grabbed those more because I took those more because I thought we could learn from them, not necessarily to turn them into gold, but into knowledge that might be more valuable.
Well, weren't they all
Especially
about
since
dragons?
Right, I'm trying to find out about the blood,
Yeah.
the dragon blood in me. So I plan to study them before I
He's
sell
gonna
them,
have wings eventually.
But I know that gold's on your mind, and I think if you look at what Thurai has here, you'll see.
I'll open up
He's got
back.
quite a way.
While you're
Couldn't we
doing
at least
start
get them
opening that up,
appraised?
I head into the library.
We need
The
money for
bookstore.
adventure.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do in the future without it. We need
Before you
rooms.
guys head into the library, I'd like to fan out that I've created 3 documents of passage in this town. And I was going to suggest that we might look at trying to find a way to get these out of my possession and gold into ours.
That's what we're thinking about selling.
So when you walk in, like, there are just books everywhere. The walls are bookshelves, apart from where there's windows, and then under the windows are more books, and a woman sitting there, a human woman sitting at the desk, and there's books around her as well, and there's paintings and stuff as well. But she's a big smile on her face as soon as that door opens and you look walking.
I'll walk right up to her. Where is she at?
I'll
She's
follow up.
like here-ish.
How are you doing today? I'll be sure to be quiet. I've got a few books. I wondered if you could take a look and see if you recognize them.
And I take it you just hand them out.
Yeah, I'll go to like pull them out of my bag and see if she kind of like immediately says no or feels offended or anything, I guess. But yeah, as long as she's not doing anything, I'll kind of go to produce them.
I wrote the names of these books down somewhere.
Oh, I did too.
I didn't.
Find it.
It just says not really the names. I just said that one was about dragons. There was one that had the word dragon in the title, but that like maybe you can read the whole title
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, you just kind of grabbed it.
And then one was about like all the races of the world or something.
Oh yeah. Right, so there's one, and she's just like, this is just a story. This is not a book of any use. But I have many of these copies, just different versions. The story is told in many different ways, and she kind of just doesn't have much to say about that. And then the one about the races, she's like, I know of these. There's written by an old dragonborn. And she's like opens it up and she's flicking through the pages, and you've never really looked at the books, have you?
No, I haven't really got a chance.
You can see
Well,
like in the center of the page is the text, and then around it is just blank page, like, and someone else's handwriting in the pages and like annotating kind of all of the words and stuff.
Like in the margins.
Yeah, and every page she's flicking through every page. She's like, looks like you found someone else's book here.
Wow, that is interesting. I haven't even had a chance to look at it. We were chased out of the area.
Can I ask where you found
I
this?
suppose it was just a bit of an adventure on the way here. It's kind of a long story. Maybe I could tell you over a goblet of wine at the dog of
The highwayman's dog.
highwayman's dog this evening.
Oh no, not that scummy place.
I suppose you probably know the city better than me. I'd love to go somewhere you could recommend.
And then she's like thinking, she's like, there's another nicer tavern with less shady people in the Goat and Boar. It's nearer to the barracks and the temple.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, I hope I'll see you there.
I may be there
Would
tonight.
Would you happen to, you're not leaving now, are you?
No, she's sitting there, but it's just the fact that he said, like, see you tonight.
You mentioned a chapel.
There's a temple next to the barracks, yes.
Of what god might this hail?
There is no god in there. It's a private area. You can use it for your own prayers.
I might take you up. I might use that. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Whatever.
Paladins.
And so I found out. Sorry, there are 3 books, and I only have notes on.
Oh yeah, sorry.
2 of
Yeah,
them,
so you've got the
something about a dragon, the one with dragon in the title. That one's just a
That's
story, and
just a
there's nothing
story.
value because she has lots of.
yeah.
Okay, the one about races is the one that has notes in the margins.
And then the one with just dragon on it. She gets it and she's looking down the spine of the book. She's like, it's very worn, and like literally the only word you can see on the spine is dragon, and the rest is kind of the leather of the front is kind of ripped off. She opens it, she flicks through each page. She's like, this is no book, this is someone's notes, and there's drawings and there's writing and everything inside it, and it looks like you've just got this big empty, well, what was empty with book with people, someone else's notes in and that.
And can I recognize the language?
It's common.
Okay, great. This looks like it might be more value to me than to a librarian like you.
I would not be interested in a book like this, but yes, read up on it. You never know what you can find in books like these.
I'm trying to learn about. Well, maybe I'll tell you later. Thanks so much for everything.
And
I have a question for you, laddie or lassie. God, all this British talk's making me. I've got a question for you.
what might that be?
When was the last unicorn spotted in the area?
Unicorns. Wow. Old creatures. She looks quite old herself. She looks about 60. So you really pulled there, Joe.
What's that?
She looks about 60. You never asked for her age.
Oh yeah, no, that I figured I was going into one of those
Yeah,
situations.
it's
where I was
alright.
like, yeah,
We can get it, right?
But she's like, she seems quite interested about you bringing up unicorns. She actually gets out from behind the counter and she's going through on the bookshelf and she's like putting her finger on each book, reading the spine. She's like, unicorns. There's not much on unicorns. She gets this big book, pretty thick, and she slams it down on the table. It's pretty big. She's like, here is all history I have on unicorns, but I heard they all died. And she's got the book there, and
We've heard some rumors lately, possibly one still around. We're seeking it out.
I would never say that is never. I wouldn't say that's an impossibility, but people around here just believe they've gone. Kind of, when the news spread through this city, people got quieter and lost hope. Unicorns was here to protect us, and losing them is hit us all hard.
Well, we've heard rumors that there's still one. We're seeking it out to protect it and bring some pride and honor back to the world.
There's many people that you could talk to in here, but a woman that actually owns another shop, Arabella, she may know a little bit more than me. I am not as interested in unicorns. She doesn't focus on unicorns, but mystical creatures is definitely something she enjoys to experiment with. Just watch out with her.
Why is that?
She's different than everyone else.
How might that be?
Not a lot of people agree with what she does, but it's not against any laws.
She's a bit shady, is she?
I think she just agrees with what she thinks she should agree with and doesn't listen to what other people say. She's in her own little world.
We've got a friend coming into town soon, and is there a way that I could maybe get a pass for him to enter the town? Or does he have to strictly get those from a pardoning letter? Does he have to strictly get them from the guards, or is there a way to
They're
obtain?
only available from the guards at the gate.
There's nobody that maybe passes them or anything that you would know of?
Not that I know of, but the tavern you were in yesterday, if you ask around, you would probably find some quite easily.
All right. I was just wondering, the lay of the land and such.
Yeah, we tend to stick to the rules.
Now, that was just all hypothetically speaking, of course.
Yes, a friend needs to know.
Of course, it was
Yes.
all hypothetically. Okay. Thank you.
And she looks towards you, Joe, and she's like, "You can keep the book if you want. Just please bring it back when you're done."
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, okay. It's just a black cover, no writing on the cover or anything. But it's a book about unicorns.
Yay.
And then I take it you want to head to Smells and Spells?
Yeah, let's speak with Arabella.
Crazy old woman.
I guess I'll follow them. I'll head to the church afterwards.
I need to probably talk to Kalas about my passes.
And we are also coming up on the hour, so now's a good time to do it, okay?
If you want.
Sure.
So we're
Thanks
taking.
everyone for watching and playing and joining. And
Hit that like button if you're on YouTube.
What's that?
So hit that like button if you're on YouTube.
Oh,
Don't forget to subscribe to Joe.
Thank you. And we'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. Thanks.
Oh.
and 5. Hey guys, what's up? We're back. I'm Job0t. Thanks for watching. Just coming back from AFK. What's up? We're headed to see Arabeth at the
Arabella.
Smells. Arabella. From smells to spells.
Yep.
Love that. I'll leave it back to you.
Yeah, so do whatever you want. You're outside the shop. While you were walking up from the bookshop to this shop, you've seen like different shops selling food, selling herbs. There was a strong smell of like lavender, and it was just this massive shop just full of like different herbs and stuff. You could see through the window, and there's just people walking up and down. Looks like they're just shopping for food and stuff. But yeah, and Kais, I take it you just walk in, and you walk into the shop, and there's jars of things floating in liquids, and there's plants on the walls and stuff, and the room's pretty much empty apart from whatever's in these jars. And there's a door that looks like another room, and then there's a door that leads out to what you can see as an actual garden. Like you can see through from the window at the back.
We can't see or sense anybody.
No, there's no one. You can't see anyone else.
Shopkeeper, where are you? I'm in search of Arabella.
And you can hear like screeching and squawking and just weird noises, and it's just very strange, and then banging and crashing, and then like you hear a lock unlock, like slide, like metal scraping, and then you hear another one, and then another one, and then the door creeps open, and this old woman just looks like she couldn't even open the door. Very just frail woman. She's like, someone said my name. We have a customer.
That was me. Are you Arabella?
Yeah. She's like, yeah, and she runs over, and she runs behind, and she acts as if she was never anywhere else. And the door's shut behind her.
I was told we could do some business with you, fair lady.
This is my shop.
Well, then I've come to the right place.
What is it that you're looking for?
I was told you might be able to point some adventurers in the direction of maybe some work.
If you would like to help me, that would be very nice.
Oh, what do you have needing done?
And she kind of like ducks under the counter and stuff, and she's like looking around and she's clunking glasses and weird things, and she brings up 2 jars, really round glass jars, like there's no straight surface on this jar, and there's a very small hole in the top, and then there's a cork in it. She puts 2 of them on the table. They're not too big. You could probably fit it in your hand. And she's like, I need them, the fairies in these. I need them.
You need us to capture fairies?
Fairies.
How are the fairy folk looked at on these around these area? I mean,
And then
we're not going to get in trouble for that, are we?
and she does her other little run, and she goes over to one of the shelves with all these little vials with like cloth around the head of the vial, different coloured stuff in, and then up above she's really reaching for it, and she grabs this exactly the same like jar, and she brings it over, and you can't really see what's in it. She's got her hands covering it, and she pops it back on the table, and she's like, these fairies, I need these fairies. And all of you are just looking at it like, what is that? And if you all do a history check.
Oh, okay.
Wait, these fairies?
These fairies?
Oh, you guys can't see my foot.
What do you mean?
On the stream, I just put my foot up to the webcam. I have a tattoo of a squashed fat green fairy guy on my foot.
Oh.
Like I stepped on him.
Oh,
Have you seen that
On the
book?
bottom.
oh no!
Have you
Put it back so I can see it on the stream, please.
I'm
I
gonna
need
have
to see
to
this.
That's what
hang on a
that's,
second. I gotta.
that's what it's inspired by,
That
Caius.
book is awesome, man.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes.
Oh,
It's almost completely faded out now, which I always knew would happen.
it's awesome.
I'm just now pulling it up. Hang on.
I pulled the stream up,
With the
but I was too late.
it's loading. Hang on.
Oh,
I see your
here we go.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Oh, that's neat.
You squished
That's
it.
awesome.
That's actually
Oh,
sick.
brilliant.
That's awesome.
That must have hurt like hell when you were getting it, though.
Yeah, it really did. I'll see if I can find a picture of the original when I first.
Right.
That
Hold on.
book. That book is incredible. It looks like somebody's captured fairies and pressed them in the pages.
Yeah, they do it in like watercolor paint. It's really beautiful and yeah,
I haven't seen that for
and clever and.
And Joe, if you can roll history as well, I just want to see if you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about fairies.
Well, actually,
Don't know much
Like,
about fairy.
when you look at it, you're like, that's some weird looking thing. And Dom, when you look at it, you think the same. So does Joe. Like that's got small little wings. It looks dead beyond dead. Like, and Thray, when you look at it, you're just confused. Like you've seen fairies before. Like you know what a fairy is, but this is.
With the 21, I'm confused.
Yeah, this is.
This isn't a fairy, I take it.
This is like just weird. It's not a fairy. You know it's not a fairy. It's got big. It's like basically no eyes. Very big mouth. Takes up like half of its head. It's tiny, but half of its head is taken up by this mouth of just looks like razor sharp teeth, and it's
20 teeth.
grey in colour, and it's got these 4 wings on its back, and it's dead. It's in this jar dead, and there's scratches. This glass is just covered in like scratches, like it's kind of got a white fade to it because of where the glass has been scratched at or bitten at. And you're confused. You've never seen anything like this. You've not even like heard of anything like this. She's like, I need these.
Guys,
Where do we find them?
I don't know where he found them. He brought them to me.
Who's he?
guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, Joe.
What?
So I've been having some bad overheating problems with my computer, and I think it might be happening. If I go full crash, I may not make it back tonight.
Oh, really?
Alright.
Alright.
Just a heads
Dip it in the
up.
bathtub, it'll make it better.
Mine's up to 89 degrees. I got to take it apart and clean it.
I need to get a
Did
new
that,
one.
but I have
My old
I
beast
had a
keeps
fan
going.
die. It just it seems to be clearing up for now, but it just a heads up, I guess, from this point
Yeah.
on. If that happens, it takes so long for it to cool down that it wouldn't really be worth it. So
Alright.
Alright.
just heads up, if you lose me, you guys can either just AFK me or call it.
Yeah.
And we'll try and get another session. I do like the idea of doing a second session in the week. I am really racking my brain to find when there is time that
It's just so difficult with me as well because time differences. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm busy all through the week.
But
Like-
I'm busy
Sunday
Friday
morning.
to Sunday.
I'm thinking of Sunday morning
it's Sunday
for us
now.
Americans.
I can't do it. I have church, and I also I already run a D&D thing on Sundays.
All right.
Uh,
Should we get back to it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. She's just like he gave these to me, and he wanted me to find out what they are, but I didn't. I dare get them out. They're angry and they want something.
Who's he?
A man didn't give me the name. He came here a few years ago and had these, and he hasn't returned since. He called them tooth fairies. Shh. I've heard about tooth fairies in children's tales, but that's just parents putting copper pieces under their child's pillow when they lose a tooth. This is not a real tooth fairy. This is something different. and they scare me.
It looks like, based on the color, that it probably comes from below ground.
It's not nice, whatever it is. It didn't stop until it died, and I couldn't feed it because it wouldn't eat anything.
All right. Well, we'd be happy to, if we come across some, bring them back to you. The problem is that, we're just going to have to basically shoot an arrow into the air and watch where it lands and hope that that's an entrance to some place where we can find them.
It likes milk.
Okay, so look around cows.
And Quinglepinch bursts through the door. No,
And then the Easter Bunny comes in with Santa Claus and his bag of loot. Like,
I stab Santa Claus and take his sack.
No, I meant like Schnick Tick Crystal Fist. Yeah. So I burst through wherever we are.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Video's gone.
You know you're not running video, right?
Oh, no,
Also, we're probably gonna hit. Oh, I bet we just did end a call.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Oh,
want
we
to
hit
end
the
it then?
4 out.
Or not yet.
I'll end it and I'll call everyone back.
Alright.
All right.
Internet.
Pretty quickly update you, Scott, on.
Alright, well, don't update on me things I don't know. I burst through the door and be like, you guys left me!
So what you would have done is you've got into this town pretty simply. You just told the people that they gave your business and they gave you a pardoning letter, which is on a handout, and you would have I'd say you just walked up looking in every shop looking for these lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you've walked into this shop that outside it said from smells to spells, and it looked a bit, compared to every other shop, it just looked a bit worn down, like doesn't look too great. But yeah, you burst through the door. Go.
Burst through the door and I burst in on a conversation about a tooth fairy.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, a tooth fairy. So I stumble in. What am I hearing about a tooth fairy?
You want to do a history check?
And yeah, I guess I will do a history check. I just gotta pull up my character sheet and do that thing.
Yeah.
16.
You've heard about tooth fairies being what parents claim take the kids' teeth away at night under their pillow, but you know that that's just not actually real. You've never heard of a tooth fairy.
Alright, so I basically know it as, the fairy tale that we all know.
And looking
I
over...
rolled Scott, I rolled a 21 and have no idea what these are.
Alright.
And you look over to what they're all like huddled around looking at, and it is weird looking fairy. Looks like it's a fairy's ugly sister or something. It's got a massive mouth with sharp teeth, and it's like grey skin. It just doesn't look
Is it
at all.
conscious?
It's dead.
It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead.
And it looks dead. Like it looks like it's been dead for a little bit.
Oh yeah, you should probably roll initiative too, just so you get like your thing on the chart with the
So
rest
you
of
can
us.
get
Yeah.
on
Oh right, yeah. If you roll initiative.
Why is there fighting happening?
No,
No,
it's
it's
just
like
to take turns with kind of the
We are
stuff.
fighting the dead fairy.
Yeah.
We'll split up. If we split up in town. Arabella, I have another question, and I reach into my pack and pull out that mirror. Can you tell me something about this? I know it's magical, and I know the circle it comes from, but I don't understand quite yet how to work it. It's of the conjuration school.
Wait, Dom, why'd you say reroll?
Because it got a 12, isn't that like you have to reroll if you get the same as
No.
No.
What's your dex, Joe?
My dex is. Hold on.
You usually decide who goes to first one.
It's 14.
All right, so I have a dex of 16. So
Yeah, I'll put you in front.
Because he's faster.
Yeah, and you hand her this broken mirror, and she's like looking at it. She's looking confused. She's like, all my life adventuring, and never have I found something like this. This is powerful. This is, and then she grabs it. She's like, do you mind if I take this really quickly? I will be back.
All right.
And she walks off, she takes the mirror and she like quite quickly walks off back to that door that she came out of, and she shuts it, and you hear all the locks go. And when she opens the door inside, you don't really see much, but as the door opens, the noise from inside, it's constant, like kind of just noise, just sounds like stuff's in there, just
Animals.
animals, yeah, probably.
Like the
When she opens it, it gets
bubbling tanks and all
yeah,
that.
it gets louder when she opens the door and then shuts the door, and obviously it's quieter.
Little bit faint.
More banging and crashing. It sounds like it's probably a room full of clutter, to be fair, and she's looking for stuff, banging and crashing and stuff. And then,
And as he's doing that, Dick is sort of like, so is everybody just going to ignore me? You know, sort of starts jabbing at Doran.
you can talk for a bit if you want. You lot, she's
Jabs at Doran with his quarterstaff. You guys left me out in the woods to die.
No.
I knew you'd find your way with those druid portals of yours, but it's good to see you again,
It's
friend.
really good to see you too. What's up with this town? Why are they so strict? I had to get a letter and everything.
I was gonna try and find you. I've got a couple extras. I opened my
Alright.
pack, showing the fine fortunes I have that I hope to pass off.
Looks like you're a hefty guy there. What's this thing? He points at with his quarterstaff.
Apparently, a fairy.
A fairy. A pixie fairy. Would I do I know anything about like pixies or any of that
you know
kind of
of
stuff?
them, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm like, well, is it a pixie? It looks kind of ugly to be a pixie.
I don't know much about fairies. I was just told this was a fairy.
I guess I'll
I
just
don't
poke
think
it
it's
with my quarterstaff.
And then you hear the bolts unlocking from that door again. She comes out with the mirror and she's like, quickly like waddles back, like, and every time she does it, she kind of sits down and acts as if she never moved. And she was like, right, I'm here again. And she's like, it's a mirror, and you need to know more about it, but I can't help you with this. I know what it does, though. I believe this may teleport things.
Hey, let me go check this out. I'll tell you what it is. Oh, by the way, in order to know what this is, you need to know more about it.
Yeah, like she doesn't know how to use it. She's like,
Oh.
she knows what
I say to
does.
Therai, didn't we already know it teleported things?
Yeah, basically.
Dang.
I
So I
it back.
take out the.
I examine
Gilded
it to
dagger.
make sure it's the same mirror.
Oh yeah, no, it's the same mirror.
I take it back and put it into my bag.
I take out the dagger that we got from the Drake, and I was like, "Do you know anything about this dagger?"
She's like looking at it. She's like, what does it say?
Can I read the runes?
No, none of you lot can read it. You've all tried.
I reply, I don't know what it says.
And she's like looking at it. She's holding it. She's moving it, and like she's like lifting it up and then rotating her wrist, so like the stuff inside's kind of moving and stuff. She's like, what's in there?
It looked like sand from when we checked.
And then she's like looking at it, and she's like, it's a daylight spell. And she's looking at it, and she whispers to it, and she keeps saying different things, and there's nothing happening. She's like, it's nothing I've ever had before. She's like looking at it, and then she like tapping the table with it, and she's like, a daylight spell that doesn't work. And she's like just looking at it, and she's just confused with it. She's like, you need to ask someone that remembers more than me.
Great. A broken dagger and a broken mirror.
Well, she doesn't know if it's broken, but she's a bit weird.
Yeah, still, yeah, she's sort of like it looks like a broken. Yeah, she's banging it on the table and stuff.
Just in the right direction.
What is that noise?
Sounds like somebody's playing with a plate or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she comes back out, and she gets some bottles off the shelves, and she puts them back like in front of her, in front of you lot, and she's like, you can also buy in my shop.
What do you sell?
Yeah, I started actually like looking around.
And yeah, you haven't actually looked around properly. So there's bottles of like greenish liquid with things floating in them, like not living, just things like weird. And then there's really nice looking vials of different coloured liquids. and there's flowers in little pots and stuff. It's very strange, and there's what looks like homemade potions, and it's just a very strange little shop.
Can you sell any potions of health?
You ask her that?
Yeah.
I have potions that can yes they heal you.
How much?
And she gets this little potion from out underneath her. She puts it on. She's like one gold piece.
And as she starts to say how much, like as she like utters like gold piece, I'm like, shh, I have something for you, as you are sort of a connoisseur of the weird, sort of pointing out the floating vials of unfinished jello molds or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start digging through my Dungeoneer's pack and
God
whip
damn it.
out 2 eyeballs of a deer, and I'm like, these.
She
I knew that was coming.
She like claps her hands together. She's like, "Oh, fresh eyes!" And she just takes them out of your hand, and she's like looking at them and like poking them and pulling them, and she's just happy. And she puts them in a little vial with some of that green liquid in, with nothing else in. She puts a cap on it. She goes and puts it on her shelf, and then she goes, "You can have that," and gives you the potion.
So it gives me a potion of healing as well.
Yeah, both of you
Right.
have a potion of healing.
Cool beans.
And Caius also bought one.
No. As in, she's fine with giving Caius the potion and gives him a potion for it.
Cool.
She likes
So
ice.
Health potion, nice. And I'm like, yeah, that should serve you well in your spell books.
What is that green
Everybody
liquid?
likes me in the world but you.
Wait, what?
What is that green liquid?
And she's
They
like,
keep putting things in.
that keeps it fresh.
But just what is it? It's odd. It's not.
It's a secret recipe.
It's like when you take a cucumber and make it a pickle.
It's similar.
It's bathing.
Uh-huh.
Well, my dear, could you point us to somebody that might have more answers towards our items here? Is there any mages in this town, or
I
wizard?
am a mage.
A wizard that has better knowledge of the things that you don't?
I know a lot about magical items.
But somebody that can give us more a definitive answer, my dear.
Sabe. He comes in every now and again. He knows. He helped me with the 2 fairies.
And would he know anything about
Unicorns. And she's big smile on her face. She's like, I know lots about unicorns. Me and Sabe talk about unicorns. Everyone thinks we're lying, but they're still here.
And how have you two come by that knowledge?
We know that they wouldn't have all died.
Oh, so it's more of a faith. We're quite interested ourselves in proving that they're out there. Do you have any ideas about how we could get evidence of their existence, or how we could?
We're on a quest, my lady.
What it is?
They would be hiding very well from anything in a large sacred space, probably a temple. Sabe would know more. He might have an idea. I believe he tried finding them once, but had no luck.
When do you think Sabe will be back in, my dear?
Sorry, I didn't hear anything. You just...
When
Bless
do
you.
you think Sabe might be returning again, my dear?
Sabe is still in the city.
Does he have a shop or a place we might be likely to find?
You could find him in his house, or you could find him in the Goat and Boar Tavern. He drinks there.
I've heard it's a fine establishment.
Do you think
Nicer
he'll
than
take
the other.
kindly to visitors?
If you're there for business, I suppose. If it's about something he likes.
Well, all right. I guess we'll get out of your hair here.
Would you not like to see the gardens?
The gardens?
I have my own gardens. Or you could see my creatures, my pets.
Well, that sounds all lovely here, but we're looking for a unicorn.
And she just kind of
It's kind of twiddles her thumbs and looks down.
She's just like, okay, oh nice.
Perhaps another.
Yeah, I'll comfort her.
Arabelle, we do appreciate all of your help today. At least some of us do. Nudge. And I just give like a good nudge at the ribs and the eye.
I appreciated everything about her. Find her to be a very kind and beautiful woman.
As you like turn your back to leave, she's like, no, don't forget these. And she's got the glass vials, and she's like tries to pass them to you. She's like,
I hand them to the paladin,
and she just kind of whispers to you. She's like, they're very bitey.
Wait, what is handed?
Like these two perfectly
Glass
circular
vials,
glass vials.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Okay.
Are those...
I thought you were saying the health potions and that they were bitey like.
Oh no!
Bitey.
The tooth fairies are
The
bitey.
fairies are bitey.
Yeah.
Got it.
I just kind of
Tooth fairy. Okay.
sit there looking at it, just kind of. What the hell is that thing? I don't.
There's nothing in it. Those are empty. We got to bring them back full.
Oh,
the empty ones.
I thought
I'm letting you carry them.
All right. So, what
how
are
much
we?
would vials weigh?
Nothing.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, be like 0.1. So we have to put pixies into here? Tooth fairies?
Yeah.
Oh my. Now I understand your pun. Very bitey, toothy looking mugs. Muttering to himself as he exits the establishment. What time is it?
It's about 1:30 p.m.
Alright, so not dark, but alright. And I sort of look to the party, so what did I miss? You know.
You didn't miss much.
Alright.
Nothing.
Well, we did have to go through a lot of thick forest on the way here. We certainly miss your abilities, but
Oh, you would have loved the giant eagle.
The giant eagle, oh my.
we did seem to be stalked by a giant eagle.
Did you take
one
its
of the-
eyes?
Here, an elf.
No eyes. We didn't kill it at all.
Nice. It belongs. It's a companion of one of the guards here in town. Error. He's an elf. I haven't seen came in, but
We have noticed some odd things about this city, though. I'm wondering about the light. They say they won't have any light after dark, and I wonder, is that for scouts?
Yeah, how do they
from the
protect their
enemy army,
walls?
or is it more like? I wonder if it's danger from above that they fear.
I'm assuming it probably will be danger from above.
Dragons and such.
Anyway, at this point, I think I might head off to the church. There's a bit I need to do there. I haven't been to one in a proper long time.
Well, we'll catch up with you then.
I sent you what I've got putting down so far for the
All right.
area.
Cool.
Just little.
I'll give it a read. We find us a little. Everyone. Oh, that's how it's spelled. City of 3K. Windows. So yeah, basically Thurai gives me the down low.
Yeah. Wait, if he's going off, are you lot going to stick together and go somewhere else?
I'm gonna head back to the highwayman's dog.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little business I think I can to do there with Kalas.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll
You go
follow
ahead.
him.
You're
to
very
your-
practical.
boy.
Very practical.
You go to your church, boy.
Are you lot all going to go there together then?
Yeah, I'll follow. And I'm like, who's Kala? You know.
Alright,
Yeah, I
well,
go back to that.
yeah, so make your way in and you can do whatever you want and that, but as you walk in, it's a few more people, still not as busy as it was at the night you came in. Probably people still working and that, and Kalas is still sitting there, kind of on his own, the goblet's in his right hand, and that's just on the table. and his left hand he's actually writing on a piece of parchment.
I'm gonna belly up
With his-
next to the bar next to him, and I want to look down and see what he's writing. As best I can.
He's always got. I did forget to mention this. Sorry. He always wearing like thick leather gloves kind of thing, and he's actually drawing. At the moment on the parchment is like a hand, basically. Just looks like a hand, and it's kind of as a relaxed kind of state, right? And it's like a 3D drawing of this hand.
Like a character study of a hand.
Yeah.
So he's an artist.
Maybe.
And I strike up a conversation with him. We spoke with Arabella, and you were right. She's a bit off.
She's definitely a different character, but she has her intelligence in some ways.
She wants us to find some tooth fairies for her. Have you ever heard of these tooth fairies?
There's word of this man that brought them in for her, but no one knows anything about them. It could be anything. I don't even trust that they're real.
Well, I saw one that looked real enough to me, even though it was dead.
I do not know. I've never seen one before.
So I see you're quite adept with the...
It's a design.
Design for what?
And he brings his right hand over and he plunks it on the table and there's a loud thud. And he, with his right hand, with his left hand, he takes the goblet out of the hand and he's like, he taps this empty hand that's like in the shape of a grip around a goblet. And he's like, for this.
You need a new hand, do you?
I don't need one hand that just holds a goblet. I need a hand that looks normal. And we'll walk around with my...
I'm sorry you lost your other one.
So is the man that did it.
I can imagine so. So I've noticed that we have to have these letters to allow us to pass. These
Skylight's very strict on who's in and who's out.
Is there any chance, any market for such things in this town? I mean, if I had a friend coming in and he needed a tip, way I could...
I suppose there are people that would buy these off you, or you could hand them out.
Or sell them to me?
Yes.
Who might I talk to about such things? Hypothetically speaking.
There's a few people, but the closest one is the man at the end of the bar. I mean, there's another person. This guy here.
What's his name, sir?
He's wearing like big black cloak kind of thing, hood up, and on his back is a crossbow. And he's just chatting away to the person at the bar. He goes by the name Desh. I introduce his character all the time.
And while this is happening, I'll bump Rico with in his leg with my quarterstaff and like, you mean any hotties lately?
Big mushroom quarterstaff.
Yeah, the bottom of my quarterstaff.
Thank you, Collapse. That damn Tylenol PM's rocking my world.
Sure it's not the apple juice?
No, it's not the apple juice. It's the Tylenol PM. I don't take them that often. They've got Benadryl in them, and the Benadryl makes me sleepy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid I won't be able to go long today, guys. Okay.
Anyone else in the tavern want to do anything right now?
I'm probably gonna just sit back and relax in the tavern.
I'll sit back. I look in the tavern and it just looks like a bunch of bums drinking.
Yeah, it's pretty dead. Like the people that are talking to each other are kind of just keeping to themselves, talking to each other. No one's kind of mingling. It's like they've all got their own like friends and stuff. It's a very shady looking place.
Oh, all right then. Just Tarai looks like he's just sitting down for a drink as well.
I'm gonna settle in down here next to Desh.
Fair enough. And Dom, I suppose.
Oh yeah,
He's heading to
Just
the church.
Go to the
I'm just
temple, to church.
yeah, I'm
area?
in like the temple doing like temple-y things.
Alright, well, it's a very small space. It's got probably enough seats for like 10 people. It's empty when you go in there, and there's a faceless statue with no proper features, kind of thing, as if it's for your imagination to kind of put your own god in.
I do religious man things and do things with tear and yes.
Okay?
Are you gonna pray for your
For your life.
school?
For my life. Most
Well, I mean,
likely.
don't you have to make a prayer to your God and choose your paladin's path now?
Yeah, you have
get
to make
your
a
oath.
permanent oath.
Yeah.
Let's hear you do your prayer.
You know, what page would all the devotions be under? Just paladin, yeah?
I've got no.
It's just under paladin. Yeah, you got your oath
Yeah.
of vengeance if
Pretty
you're
sure
taking
I
that.
was Yeah, I was
Or are
pretty
you
sure I was
going
going
for
with
oath?
devotion.
Devotion, alright. So tenets have to do with honesty and such as that.
Honestly, don't lie, cheat, let your words be promised, courage, never fear to act, caution is wise, compassion, aid others, honor, treat others with fairness, let your honorable deeds, example of blah blah, duty, be responsible for your actions and the consequences. You gain oath spells at the paladin level listed, protection from good and evil, and sanctuary. Yeah, so that's what I'm going with. Oath
Fair
of
enough.
devotion. I get protection from evil and sanctuary. What might those be?
Sanctuary is sort of like a thing where you like sanctify land. Protection for good and evil makes it so good and evil have like disadvantage on attacks on you and stuff. Like if you choose aberration or whatever monstrosity. Yeah, I don't
Would those
know
be
the spell.
cantrips?
They are not cantrips. They are
No,
not.
they're first level spells.
But it
You
says I
can't-
get them automatically. Would I go over limit if I use those?
Nope. Each time you use them, you would also use a slot.
So I
But
have
they
two
are
spells.
added. They are added to your basically your spell book, so on say
Okay.
automatically. Say them again. It's sanctuary, protection from good and evil, right?
Yeah.
And what?
That's it.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find them.
Hit that hard
Uh,
text there. It's on the page.
Yeah, Sanctuary. You ward a creature within range against attack until the spell ends. Any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell that they are targeting that said creature with. So basically, you can choose a creature. Like you could choose, let's say you choose Schnicktick, and any creature that tries to attack me has to make a saving throw, or he can attack me if he fails that saving throw. It's a bonus action. Yeah.
try to find sanctuary on here. I don't know if I can.
And then protection from good and evil. You choose a creature, and that creature is protected against certain types of aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiend, undead. And protection grants them benefits such as like they can't be charmed by, or frightened by, or possessed by those said things. And when the creature like such as that attacks said creature you choose to be protected against, they are attacked with disadvantage. So
I'm
yeah.
trying to find sanctuary on this list so I can just copy paste the stats. Oh, here we go. Sanctuary. VSM. I hate doing this. I hate spells. Spells suck.
I love spells.
So do I.
Right, while you're doing that, anyone doing anything?
Yeah, I can
I'm
talk to Dutch about maybe. I'll talk. I'm just having conversation with him and stuff, and kind of under my breath mention the fact that I know he might be interested in passing some paper, and I set my pack up on the table and I kind of pull one of the passes out just so he can see just the parts of it and
Yeah.
see what he does from there.
He like looks at it. He's like, and he says, "Have you got a table?
We can take a table right over here.
What about with your men?
Yeah, that's fine. They're my men.
And I take it you go over to the table that them three are sitting at as well.
Yeah, the paladin's not there, so we're good.
Whoa, didn't make no. Wrong mouse.
Is this single target? Yes. Okay.
Yep, one willing creature.
Why can't I move it? Right, I'm redrawing him. He's just there at the table, and he's still got his hood up, and he's still quite a hidden man. But what is it that you want with the papers?
What do you think these would be worth? I have 3 of them in my possession right now that I'd be willing to pass off.
It's dangerous. You get caught with a fake one.
Well, if you look, you can tell they're quite well done.
And he just keeps examining them, like obviously being cautious because, he's probably a bit scared of the penalty. And
As am I.
he says, "You would not like to know what happens if I was caught with one of these. I could give you 2 gold pieces for each one, but..."
Done.
Done.
Fair enough. And he'll hand you 6 gold pieces for the 3.
That's already in my bag.
And guys, quite conveniently, this thing requires a small silver mirror to use.
Does it?
You're not
Yeah.
You've got a small brass mirror.
Oh, is it brass? I thought it was silver.
Yeah, so it's brass.
You'll need to buy one.
Or look for one.
Unlike me, I have a focus.
And while you're at the table, he does that. He tucks them in underneath his cloak and then the inside pocket and stuff. And he's like, are you lot in here for long? You arrived quite late last night.
Yeah, I think we'll be here for at least another day or so. We're looking for some work for our party, and
We're also looking for a man named Sabe.
yeah,
The half elf.
I don't know what he is. Apparently he knows something about a unicorn.
He's a different one. He believes that the unicorns are still here, and he helps the wrong people.
Are you calling us wrong people?
I didn't say you.
Oh, alright then.
Arabella's just a strange woman, and she...
yeah, we met her.
Ah, yes, then you understand.
Go find some tooth fairies for her. You know where to find these tooth fairies?
No one knows about these 2 fairies. Everyone's been told about them. Skylax told her to leave it now because she troubles people with them. There's no adventurer that has passed here knows of them.
A fool's errand, then you're saying. Okay.
If you're looking for information, the best person to talk to is Skylax.
How long would this last? It says until the spell ends. It says nothing else.
It should say duration.
Yeah, it's like 1 minute. Are you talking about Sanctuary or Protection versus
Protection
Good
from good and evil.
It lasts up to 10 minutes with concentration.
Oh, okay.
And all you really need is holy water. And I assume your pally has that.
You should be able to get that in the temple. You should be able to make your own.
Maybe fill your water skin up with it or something like that.
Is this single target or area? Yeah,
It is
target.
one single creature.
Yeah, range self.
It is actually ranged touch.
Yeah, it's
I think.
touch.
Oh, I'm looking at detect evil and good.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Protection, yeah, range touch. So anybody you touch gets protection from it. You have to concentrate on it, so you can only do it to one person.
Yeah, and if you get attacked while it is being casted, you have to make a concentration save. Which is a DC. It's either like 10 or it's like something about damage. I have to remember that for future dwellings.
Yeah, so he says Skylax is the best person to talk to.
Alright, how may we gain audience with Skylab?
That's where it gets difficult. He doesn't leave the royal district, and he's never exactly free to just talk to anyone. I could probably sort something out.
I would appreciate it, Dash.
I suppose you'll be here again sometime.
Yeah, we'll be here for a couple of days, I assume.
If I get something done, I will contact you.
Thank you. You can find me.
This is my phone number. Yeah.
Have you spoke to Ezra from Herbs and Herbs, the herbologist? He probably knows a fair bit about areas you could find such mystical beasts.
All right, Ezra.
Yes.
Noted. Quite literally. Stretching out.
Is there anything you would like to talk about there, ma'am?
Well, you don't know anything about these pixies or these unicorns? You have no belief in them?
I believe that the tooth fairies were around but aren't anymore, maybe. I do not know. And the unicorns, we were all told were dead, and I believe it.
It is a believable statement.
None have been
Well-
spotted for so long now, but if they were anywhere, they would be in hiding.
Of course, having their own little places, because people like us, you know. Well, I mean, we should probably get out of your hair then, Dash. Sounds like you got a thing to do.
And
You know.
yeah,
Schnicktick will jump out of his stool or whatever he was sitting on,
Yeah.
and sort of lead the way out.
take it you lot are all following to go to Ezra.
Yeah.
Lay down, dog. Go lay down.
And we'd probably maybe stop by the church just to see if
No, leave it.
Yeah. All right.
You-
All right.
10-minute warning for me, guys.
Really? Alright. And I take it you're just still in the church then, Dom?
Yeah.
Alright, if you want...
I grab a little bit of holy water if I can,
Yeah.
without breaking the law.
No, that's fine. Like a small fountain. It's empty anyway.
Well. So we go to Herbs and Herbs. Is that what the
Yeah,
place was called?
Herbs and Herbs, and outside of this shop is just pots of like lavender and different spices and stuff, and it just smells so nice compared to everywhere else you've been walking around. It's lovely. And upon entry, I suppose you just walk in. There's a few people already in the shop looking at things on shelves and that, and there's a half elf there behind the counter, and he's just looking around at everyone, watching everyone as they're like looking, and sees you lot, and his eyes kind of open a bit wider. He's not really seen a tiefling or a dragonborn before.
Or a deep gnome?
Yeah, probably not a deep gnome either.
And he has seen a human.
Yeah.
All right. And I'll say out Ezra, stumbling around with my giant mushroom.
And he just kind of gives a smile, and he's like, yes.
Well, we heard you may know a thing about mythical creatures.
I know a lot about them.
Would you know anything about fairies or unicorns? Yeah. So you jump.
And he's like, come closer. We don't have to shout this across the shops, and like you lot are all like up against the counter kind of thing.
Alright.
And you heard this information from someone?
Well, we heard you may know that by from a good friend of ours.
I know a bit about the the unicorns. I do not know where. I believe they're still here somewhere in forest land. They would be hiding from anyone just
Well,
trying.
sounds like you know as much as us.
There's little chance that you will ever find them. I do believe they'd be well hidden and they would not want to be found. And if they did, I think they would make themselves known.
Well, what do you know about these fairies? We heard what's her Arabella talking a whole mess about them.
Arabella's a good friend, and I helped her with these fairies. But the problem with them is, as soon as you take that cap off, they go for you. And we struggled to do anything. We did test with them, and I would advise you against any contact with a living tooth fairy.
Well, I mean that's what we're being paid for, or something of sorts. We're venturing towards. Would you know? I know you advise against it, but do you know any place where we could find said fairy?
They seem to be of possibly an underground refuge, but from the lack of them, I believe that the west is where you would find them. I believe that they would have been used 40 years ago during the terrible war, and that the man that gave Arabella these fairies probably found them as leftovers.
Great War. Oh man. Well, are the west to the city or west in the city?
No, like west, like that's where
Wait.
the barrier.
Way out west where the dragon pushed everything. Of course. Everything's way west.
Way west, where you do not want to go.
Well, thanks for your time, Thurai or Doran. Do you have anything else you want to ask?
I think I'm fine. This has already been a profitable experience for me.
You lot all then setting off to find these unicorns?
I think we should spend maybe one more night in town, see if we could speak to Skylax, and then, hell, go west, young man.
West is the one direction that you should not keep travelling in. I advise strongly against it, and you would never get past the keep anyway. And the king would not allow anyone to travel inwards.
The king doesn't have to know about anything.
How would you get past the keep?
And it keeps above ground, correct?
Correct.
We
You're gonna mine?
Well, he basically points towards the color of his skin. You know us.
I would very much care to help you in your adventure, and he puts out 3 vials of this like thick gloopy liquid, and he gives you them, and then he also hands out. How many of you are there? There's 4 of you there, so 4 health potions. He says, I do not have much that I can give due to having to live, but these will help you if you ever get poisoned, and health potions.
Well, thank you, kind sir. And I'll make sure these are kindly repaid back to you once we get back from our journeys.
3 vials of gloopy liquid.
Which he said they like cure. He said they'll cure a poison.
So like an anti-venom.
Mm-hmm.
And stooping out with his big mushroom, start heading up to the next guy, to the tavern, to an inn somewhere. We could spend the night and wait for Zarlax or Staratax or whatever his name is. Skylax.
It's only like 2:30 p.m. Right? You've only just been like walking around and talking. Like in the business area or down basically one long street.
I guess walking out of it, Schnick Tickle, mutter to himself, "Oh, cities make me sick. I'd rather be cooped up underground than be here."
Is that yours, Joe?
That's awesome,
Yeah.
Joe.
Sorry to
No, that's awesome.
Wait, what?
The photo on his foot, the tattoo on his foot.
I'll throw it in chat too if anyone wants to.
Alright, I'll check it out. Oh, wow. I'm afraid of no ghost.
Tom's Ferry.
The foot fairy?
Gotta go let my dog out.
I stepped on it.
I'll be right.
Wolves.
God, I love his tiny little wings. I love how like they would never hold up.
Yeah.
They're so like disproportionately small, and he's all fat.
One of my favorites.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's cool. Well then,
Are you all heading out?
well, do you?
Sounds like it. It's about 7, so we are at about 4 hours. I know we lost a little time early on. I'm unfortunately just like, I have to call it. I gotta get ready for some stuff tonight. I still kind of feel
All
Alright.
right.
Do you guys, are you guys gonna keep
I'm not
going?
sure. We might still do like an hour maybe at most. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll wait for at least for
Yeah,
you
alright.
guys to come back. But well, I guess I'll just kind of wrap
Yep.
the stream.
All right.
That's
No
alright.
No
problem.
problem.
I get the gist that you like mythical creatures, Lee.
Well,
Even-
the whole unicorn thing was like to start with, and then came up with some other little things, and yeah, it just turned out with that stuff.
It turned out with the tooth fairy and the unicorns.
Yeah.
Yep. In a strange predicament.
Oh. What happened to killing goblins? So, like in the good old days.
That's the thing though, because of the war and everything's been dragged out. Like
Mm-hmm.
the creatures you'll stumble across won't be as monster-esque, say, in this area, just because they're
God damn it! I knew you did it. I knew.
What?
I knew it. I knew it.
Knew what?
Stop.
The Hellboy wiki or what?
Oh yeah. I knew you did it.
trying to use the outside world to influence a game where he knows nothing about it.
I knew it.
Those things look creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Aha!
What?
I'm just proud of myself that I found out that like I knew what you were talking about. The reference you made.
The
Oh,
Hellboy
okay.
thing. Ugly tooth fairies. So, Job0t, is that like a tattoo on your foot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
And if you get tattoos on the bottom of your feet, the skin changes over so fast on the bottom of your feet compared to the rest of your body. They wear away quickly.
Okay, so it's sort of.
So earlier, Lee was describing this like smeared, squashed fairy.
So yours is sort of smeared.
And then I was like, oh, I have one of those on my foot, and I put my foot up to the camera, but you really can't see it very well anymore. It's pretty washed over. Like it looks like kind of like an old watercolor painting or something. It's like kind of faded out pretty seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go digging for an old picture of what it once looked like.
That's cool, and like it's like a place for a tattoo that like no one would ever like think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice looking.
So, what are we doing?
So I'm not feeling so hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it in the stream here. But if you guys wanted to keep the Skype call going and you wanted to play a bit more, you can catch me up next week or whenever we get
Yeah.
to again.
Sounds fine with me.
Sure.
All right, cool. Why don't we do a real quick outro or whatever, shout outs. I'll keep it quick on this one. So, as usual, thanks Twitch, thanks OBS, thanks Roll20, thanks Lee for DMing, and thanks to all my players for joining. You guys are awesome. And I'll throw it to you guys real quick, and I'll start with Dom.
Boo, I'm Dom. You can find me over at Dom Does Twitch on both Twitter and Twitch because I have a Twitter thing now. And I don't really do much on Twitch, so you might as well just follow it there because why not? Yay.
Logan?
I had a great time. I hope you come back. You can't really find me on Twitch or Twitter, but because I don't go on there. But I hope you come around next time.
We can find you here.
Yeah, you can find me here.
Awesome.
Freaking unicorns, man. I'm Scott. I play a deep gnome in this campaign, and I do druidic things. I got a big mushroom, and like, that's pretty much that. Yeah.
Let all the gnomes say that.
I got a pretty big mushroom. Yeah, this is the giant mushroom's just overcompensation.
Love it. Lee?
Yeah, no, cheers everyone for playing and Joe for streaming it. That's good. And the guy that made the character sheets just for saving time wasn't overly needed this game because we weren't really fighting much, but during combat it helps a lot. Yeah, it's good. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for watching either on Twitch here or if you're watching on YouTube later on. I really appreciate you guys being part of it. So thanks, and we'll probably be around next Saturday, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
We're working out scheduling. So
Well, it'll be an every Saturday thing, but we're trying to add a different day during the week.
Yeah, so keep an eye on Twitter and we'll keep you informed. So thanks so much for watching.
Yeah. Thanks much.
Hey.
See ya.
Yeah.